Commander Zethkar adjusted his 6 eyes as he reviewed the tactical display aboard the Dominion flagship Eternal Conquest. For 3,000 cycles, galactic warfare had followed the same predictable patterns. The Zephyrian Empire would mobilize, their crystal-powered dreadnoughts. The Mechanic Collective would deploy their synchronized drone swarms, and the Psionic Brotherhood would unleash their mind-bending assault vessels. Battles were fought with mathematical precision, casualties calculated to the decimal point, and surrender terms negotiated before the first shot was fired. It was civilized. It was efficient. It was routine. "Sir," his tactical officer, a 4-armed Nexian, reported with characteristic calm. "Long-range sensors detect an unregistered vessel approaching the Kepler battleground." Zethkar's mandibles clicked in mild annoyance. The current engagement between the Zephyrians and Mechanics was scheduled to conclude in precisely 47 minutes, with the Mechanics achieving a 73.2% probability victory. An unknown variable could disrupt the entire timeline. "Species identification?" he asked. "Unknown, sir. The vessel's design doesn't match any registered civilization in the Galactic Combat Registry. It appears to be primitive." On the main screen, a small angular ship materialized. Its hull was a patchwork of different metals, scarred and blackened by what appeared to be countless impacts. Compared to the gleaming perfection of the Zephyrian crystal ships or the geometric precision of mechanic drones, it looked like salvaged scrap. "Hail them," Zethkar ordered. "Inform them they're entering a designated combat zone and must withdraw immediately." The communication channel crackled to life, and a bipedal creature appeared on screen. It had pale skin, bilateral symmetry, and only 2 eyes positioned at the front of its skull. A clearly predatory arrangement that made Zethkar's defensive scales ripple. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Terran vessel Defiance," the creature said in heavily accented galactic standard. "We're responding to a distress signal from the Kepler mining colony." "Terran?" The tactical officer's voice carried a note of confusion. "Sir, there's no species called Terrans in the database." Zethkar leaned forward. "Unknown vessel, you are interfering with a scheduled military engagement. The Kepler colony was evacuated according to standard pre-combat protocols. Withdraw immediately or face destruction." The human's face, Zethkar accessed his xenobiology files and identified the species, displayed what appeared to be aggressive, baring of teeth. "Negative, Commander. Our sensors show 17 civilians still trapped in the lower mining levels. We're going in." "Impossible," Zethkar's tactical officer interjected. "Our scans show no life signs." "Your scans can't penetrate the quantum-shielded mining equipment," Captain Chen replied coldly. "Ours can." Before Zethkar could respond, the human ship accelerated directly into the combat zone. The Zephyrian and Mechanic fleets caught off guard by this unprecedented violation of combat protocols, momentarily ceased fire. What happened next would be discussed in military academies across the galaxy for generations. The human ship didn't follow standard tactical doctrine. It didn't maintain safe distances or calculate optimal firing solutions. Instead, it dove straight through the middle of both fleets. Its weapons, crude kinetic projectiles and primitive fusion missiles, firing in all directions. A Zephyrian crystal destroyer, its captain paralyzed by the sheer audacity of the maneuver, took a direct hit from what humans apparently called a railgun. The perfectly calculated crystal matrix that powered the ship couldn't compensate for the chaotic kinetic energy, and the destroyer's entire forward section crumpled like paper. 3 mechanic drone fighters, their AI systems struggling to process. The irrational tactical patterns collided with each other as they attempted to avoid the careening human vessel. "This is madness," Zethkar whispered. "They're going to get themselves killed." But they didn't. The Defiance reached the planet's surface, its hull glowing from atmospheric entry at a speed that should have been lethal. It landed not at the designated safe zone, but directly on top of the mining facility, crushing 2 automated defense turrets that had been left behind. 17 minutes later, well ahead of the 47-minute schedule, the human ship lifted off again, now carrying the 17 missing civilians that every other scanner had insisted weren't there. As the Defiance prepared to leave the I system, Captain Chen's voice crackled over the open channel. "Combat protocols are for wars. We don't fight wars. We fight for people." The communication cut off, leaving the assembled fleets in unprecedented silence. In the days that followed, military strategists across the galaxy struggled to understand what they had witnessed. The humans had achieved their objective not through superior technology or overwhelming force, but through something none of them had factored into their equations: the willingness to sacrifice everything for individuals they had never met. Zethkar found himself studying the encounter records obsessively. The humans had somehow detected life signs through quantum shielding that their own advanced sensors couldn't penetrate. They had navigated an active battlefield with seeming recklessness. That was actually precise beyond calculation. Most disturbing of all, they had treated the rescue of 17 strangers as more important than their own survival. 3 months later, when the Devourer swarm emerged from dark space, an enemy that followed no combat protocols, recognized no surrender terms, and sought only total annihilation, the Galactic Council made an unprecedented decision. They sent for the humans. Captain Chen's response was immediate. "We'll be right there." The age of routine galactic warfare was over. The age of humanity had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. Because while other species fought wars with logic and calculation, humans fought with something far more dangerous: the unshakable belief that every life was worth any risk. And in a universe full of calculated battles, that kind of madness was exactly what the galaxy needed.